Yes, another cold front does work its way through the region, and that does knock down temperatures a little bit, but I mean, honestly, it's still going to be fairly nice, especially as we head towards the middle half of the week. We're getting knocked down to about 49 degrees. Oh no, really, I mean, it's a little bit cooler, don't get me wrong, but certainly still pretty nice for about early February.
All right, let's check back in with meteorologist Garrett and talk about our weather for tomorrow. Is going to be better than today.
Oh yeah, I mean, Drake says it best there with Hotline Bling at least. Today's temperature really wasn't the greatest, 26 degrees, but tomorrow it's going to feel a lot better outside. You could very clearly see where that little hook was at by the Linden area. But one thing to note is notice how much red and orange is around that, meaning it's a high precipitation. So being able to see this, regardless if there's spotlights on it or not, visibility is going to be poor.
Hi everyone, I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween, and happy Halloween for those of you still celebrating. Otherwise, though, for tonight, things looking to be a little bit cooler for us.
But some of those snow totals, when all is said and done, the good news is I think we'll stay just shy of about an inch here in the Quad Cities, with the heavier amounts down to the south. Most of us being spared about a good amount of snow later in the spring season. Annoyingly, the windshield of our cars. And a really quick, easy way to get rid of a lot of that frost. I know scraping, that can be a bit of a pain as well. Real easy fix is get yourself a little spray bottle and some water and some isopropyl alcohol. An easier mixture of about 1/3 water and 2/3 isopropyl alcohol makes a really easy way to de-ice that foggy windshield. Tornado warning, that is the key factor for now, but in terms of a more widespread issue, this is going to be primarily for those winds. We are starting to move into more of the dissipating phase of this thunderstorm's life cycle, and usually when we cross into that is usually when we start to deal with more downward winds. A lot of those that air that was lifted up is all got to come back down. Gravity's a thing. So as that air comes rushing back down, it hits that ground, it's going to come out. That's why we're going to be dealing with a lot of these really gusty winds. Cool images here from Ingenuity, as well as our awesome video sent from Perseverance. This amazing video of Ingenuity being in the air for just shy of around 40 seconds. Some cool stuff going on outside of our planet, but back here on Earth, here in the Quad Cities, things are actually a little bit cooler. Kind of like. As we're taking a look at the I-74 bridge, a very quiet, warm night for us, especially throughout our day today has been fairly nice outside as well, especially as today kicked off the very first day of astronomical spring, or simply put, the spring equinox, which occurred at around 10:33 this morning after we passed the point-in-hour orbit around the sun, which both hemispheres receive equal amounts of light, hence the Latin word equinox, meaning equal night. Something fun for there. But today's day length at around 12 hours, 9 minutes. It's not exactly perfect 12 hours in the middle because we are still moving around the sun, so that is going to be just a little bit different. It's not completely equal down to the T, but for the most part, it is a pretty even split, 12 hours and 12 hours of daylight and nighttime for both hemispheres across the globe. But today certainly felt quite spring-like for us here in the Quad Cities, as well as highs got to around 68 degrees here in the Quad Cities. Around the rest of the QCA, a lot of us still into those upper 60s, mid 60s as well. Really can't go wrong with that, especially when you consider the fact that our average high temperatures right around 52 degrees. So most of us have been well above that for us today. And if you really enjoyed today's weather, that's something we continue to see a little bit more of, especially as we start off the week. But things don't pan out that way as we move forward. But for now, again, things still relatively comfortable for us at about 52 degrees outside our door. Wind's not much of an issue for us either, so here we are at about almost 11 o'clock at night, and honestly still not half bad. Maybe sometime we could get out and you leave the windows open overnight if you're not afraid of a little bit of 50s throughout the overnight time frame. Otherwise, though, for now, clouds still continuing to work their way into the QCA, not really causing much of an issue. Think of it as a bit of a blanket starting to work its way over us as we are starting to tuck ourselves into bed this evening. Our skies naturally doing the same thing for us as we head throughout the rest of our night. But this overarching low pressure system working its way into the Dakotas will continue to track its way eastward, bringing in some much warmer air for us, especially as we head towards our day tomorrow. Granted, I think most of the showers are going to stay further towards our north, just narrowly missing us here in the Quad Cities. But highs tomorrow are certainly going to be a lot warmer for us, as we are expected to get around 72 degrees. It'll be standing toe-to-toe with the warmest day that we've seen so far this year back in March 16th, which was the exact same temperature. So if we get above that, we'll be breaking that as well. But it'll certainly be fairly breezy for us as we go forward in time. But as we head into Monday night, that's when showers really start to work their way into the area after this whole system really just kind of slams on the brakes for a little bit, and it's really just going to stop. Most of these fronts too, you notice they transition more to a stationary front, meaning we're pretty much going to start to get more prolonged showers as we head through Monday night throughout Tuesday. Notice those temperatures starting to drop as low pressure does continue to track its way towards the east, wrapping in colder air behind it. By Wednesday, down to around 48 degrees, but we'll continue to see these showers continue through into about Thursday morning, and as temperatures continue to drop, the potential for a little bit of heavier snow or a little bit of flakes starting to fall down, not out of the question for us. I don't think we'll see much for snow, but as far as rain goes, much needed. Some areas expected to pick up over an inch to an inch and a quarter over the next week or so. As far as snow goes, well, we'll stay likely fairly light, but I don't think we'll be accumulating much, as those soggy days ahead of it is really going to eat away at any potential for those snow accumulating. But otherwise, we could certainly use the moisture as our drought monitor from March 17th has expanded for us here in the Quad Cities. So tonight, pretty mild, 48 overnight, but otherwise the rest of this week we'll see that soggy conditions stick with us, but as we head towards the end of the week, we do start to rebound a little bit more with 50s back on the way and a little more sunshine, at least just in time for the weekend, which is always good news.
That's when you want it, for sure.
Absolutely. We head into the work week, we're already at work, doesn't matter. I mean, if we're working still from home, no reason to travel anyway. So we'll take it. We can use the moisture.
Yeah, there you go. Garrett, thank that $30,000 mark. And Garrett, you know what? Maybe not exactly pool weather, but still a lot better than we've seen the past few days.
I mean, yeah, we're still quite a long ways from Memorial Day, but I mean, temperatures, what we saw today, were fairly nice, and we can certainly get used to. And if you didn't get the chance to enjoy enough of it today, well, we got a whole week of it. Things are going to be looking fairly nice for us, and a bit of cool down by the end of the week, but by cool down, it's like 10 degrees.
All right, absolutely beautiful, Garrett. Thank you, and thanks for joining us. Have a great night.